And welcome back to the podcast, everybody.
Yeah, that one was just out. Fuck, that was quick. All right.
Yeah, we going fast now.
I see that.
Um,
It's almost like we got something to
so,
do tomorrow. Coming to
so we
you.
are a day late, guys, but we did not skip 2 weeks. Um,
Coming to you damn near live at this point. Fuck.
yeah. So, Zen, what is the topic for today?
Hey, Sammy, what's the topic for today?
Sir, you don't know. Virginity.
There you go.
That's the topic for today. I'm very excited about this.
She picked this.
Zen is not.
She picked this.
I did pick this. Why do you gotta be like that, homie?
What do you mean?
I think this will be a fun one. I think this will be a fun topic.
Will it?
I think that
Will it really?
yeah, I think it will. It's gonna be fine. You over worry about everything.
No. No, I don't. I don't know about that one.
What do you do?
I don't know about that.
Mr. Paranoid. You do though.
Paranoid
Don't
is
let
different.
that paranoia. Not that different, but okay. So, I wanted to talk about this topic because we actually had a conversation about virginity the other day, did we not?
Yes, we did.
And it kind of got me to thinking that this should be a topic that I think that we should discuss because I feel like you and I think of it very differently,
Mhm.
and I don't want to say it's in like a man-woman perspective because there are people out there, women and even men, who do take their virginity very seriously, and I feel like I you were like at first, I feel like you were like, I didn't take it seriously. I'm like, but you waited for the right person. And then you're like, well, yeah, maybe I did take it more seriously than I thought.
I
But we'll
took
get
it
into that.
technically seriously.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like, okay, so for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
let me just, we're not going to talk about our virginities and like how they happen. That's not what this topic is about. It's just more of like just the topic of what it kind of means to us and like how we kind of view it as maybe like a society and things of that nature. I feel like for me, when I thought of my virginity, it was very serious for me. I wasn't even sure if I would ever have it, if I'm being honest. For a few years, I honestly thought I would never have sex. Not
Jesus.
because there weren't opportunities. It was a choice. Like it wasn't just like, oh, woe is me, I'm never gonna have whatever, whatever. No, like it was like an actual choice. I I believe I've said this before, but I actually wanted to be a nun for like 5 years of my life. So I just, when you think you're going to be married to the church your entire life, you're just like, sex isn't, you don't have sex. And if you do have sex, you're technically not allowed to be a nun. Like, um, at the age that I was, um, if you have to be pure or a widow to be a nun,
Mm.
and have only had sex with your husband. Like, there's a lot of requirements. And if they find out that you have had sex with other people, like, you get excommunicated, I think, from the church. I don't know if that's still a thing, but I know it used to be a thing. Um,
I
but
don't know how
anyone
nuns
can
work.
correct me if I'm wrong out there. What?
Listen, I don't know how fucking nuns work.
Yeah. So, but of course, it's not the same for bishop or cardinals or the pope or whatever, but we're not going to go into that. Catholicism has changed a lot, though. So, but that's a whole. Well, we might do a religion pot, maybe.
I don't know about that one.
It would. Yeah. Um. But anyway, so, but yeah, I wanted to be a nun. So I never really knew if I was gonna have sex or not. If I'm being quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was extremely serious. It was a very religious thing for me, specifically because I just I wanted to be true to my faith for a long time, and I was very happy about not giving my virginity up to the wrong person or to the wrong um, just anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was extremely proud of that fact. I was extremely proud of the fact that I never wanted to be someone that regretted their first time. If I ever did have sex, obviously I did. I'm now married. Um, but we've obviously had sex. Um, but yeah, so that was kind of like that was like my first thoughts on virginity. What were yours?
Um, I thought of it as like it was something that you wouldn't do casually.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thought of casual, like not even like taking your virginity, but like casual sex in general was very off to me for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
As I
Mm-hmm.
grew older, like the part of me like casual sex still weird. It was still weird to me, but a little bit. But like by the time I got to college, I was like, you know what, that that's just like a part of not even like in college. It was like sophomore year of high school. I was like, yeah, that people are just
It's a
gonna fuck.
thing.
People gonna fuck
Yeah.
regardless, like
Yeah.
whether they're in a relationship or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was, I guess it was very like, I'm not gonna say innocent, but like very,
It was like a matter of fact. I almost feel like it was just like,
yeah.
people gonna fuck, so whatever. But it was still like you still wanted to like wait for the right person though.
I wanted not even like the right. I just wanted to wait for somebody that I trusted,
Yeah,
like
but that
somebody
can
I
be good.
became friends with first.
That's what I mean. But still, like the right person doesn't have to be like a soulmate or your true love. It just the right
I didn't
person.
know what you meant by the right person.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. So what I mean by the right person, I mean like someone. Whether that mean like for you it was someone that you trusted. For me, like I wanted to be in love.
Mm,
That was the right person for me.
mm.
And my husband, I've only ever been with my husband. Um, he was the right person for me. So I think for everyone it means something different, but that's why I don't want to say anything else other, like oh you need to be in love. I do think it should be someone you either are in love with or someone that you really trust. I don't think someone should just give up their virginity um just to give it up. I think it should be with someone that you really trust because that's a pretty vulnerable like state of being, especially
I was
when
about to say
you are
it's
that
a
young.
very like time where you're very vulnerable and you're just getting into a situation
Yeah,
where you don't have any experience. So it would
right.
be
And it's
within
yeah,
your
and
best interests to do it with
mm-hmm.
someone you love or trust, or both.
Yeah,
Mostly
or
both.
both. It could be mostly both. I think we both. Uh, I mean, I know I was with someone that I both trusted and who loved me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to speak for you, um,
This is facts.
nor yeah. Um, oh, so you do agree with someone that
Yes.
you loved and trust? Okay. Um, and I'm not even saying like you have to be like in love with them, but even just like I've known some of my friends are just like, yeah, like fucked Joe. I don't want to say Joe, but like,
I
Jane
don't know why
fucked
you had to.
Joe and
I don't know why you had to add
like
names to
Jane
this.
Doe, John Doe type of thing. Jane Doe fucked John Doe, and it's just
Bars?
like, yeah, like we're best friends and like we both love each other, and we were 17 and
That's
with prom night and blah blah blah, and it's just like I love him and I trust him, and it's like he felt the same way about me, and we just decided,
that'd
and
be
it
a
never happened again. But like, but no, like that's why I don't want to say their name. Like I have had a couple of friends who've done that. It was just like it was just with their significant like their really good friend at the time, who some of them were actually of the same gender, and they just were like, we just
That would take
had
best
sex,
friendship
and
to a whole new level.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to think about it that way because we're best
No,
friends, and I don't
not in the
know. Yeah,
slightest.
no, but we're more sibling best friends though.
This is facts.
They weren't like that. They were just best friends. Um, and I think it was just like, haven't had sex. You haven't had sex, so like, you just want to experience together. Like, I trust
It
you.
was
I
like
love you.
it's
You're
like
not
one of
gonna like
those.
fuck me over.
It's like
Yeah.
one of those. If I'm 30 and you're 30 and we're both single, we're just gonna get
Yes.
married type of situations.
Yes. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah. So, I will say though, some of the friendships that I know,
Mm-hmm.
one of them was not invited to the other's wedding,
Damn.
and it was the girl that her now husband said that her then best friend was not. It still is like her really good friend. They're no longer as close to her because I mean, you know, she is with her husband. And that's why I always tell people too. I'm like, you're like my brother best friend. Like that's what you are to me. But like my ultimate best friend is my husband.
This is
And
fair.
I feel like your ultimate best friend would be like your partner, but like you and I are best friends as like siblings. Like you're my brother,
Yeah.
and no one can no one can tell me otherwise. You know.
No one can come between
So
us, though they've tried.
no, a lot, yeah, a lot of people have tried.
I don't know about that lot of people part, but like people have tried.
I feel like 3 to 4 people have tried to come
Let's say
between us.
it's like a handful of people.
A handful. I feel like but we've only been best friends for like a year.
That's all it takes. Fuck you mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like for like a handful, that's a significant amount of people.
This
Like
is where
in
you're
a
going
year.
with that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's a lot of people in 1 year.
Meh. They'll get over it.
But I digress. Back on the topic. I feel as though so yeah. So it doesn't even have to be someone that like you're in love with. But someone that definitely like I definitely feel like you should love them, that you should be able to trust them. Because that's a vulnerable state. No matter what anyone says, like being naked in front of somebody, even if it's like even if you're not a virgin and just like being naked in front of someone else for the first time and like being in that situation, like that's still like nerve wracking a little bit because it's just like
It's weird.
for people, yeah, like
It's
it's
real
a weird thing. Like it's yeah, like even now, like my husband and I have been together. Oh my gosh, like 7.5, almost 7.5 years, and like there are some days where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I am naked, like I'm fucking naked in front of my husband, and it's just
Wow.
like, damn, this is weird.
Wow.
But it's not weird, but it's just like it's a vulnerable state. Like you are completely stripped down, bare boned. Like you're in front of somebody though, and you're vulnerable. And like I don't like when people make such a big deal out of it. They're just like, oh well, no. That's not what this is. But like it's vulnerable. Like I feel like people sometimes try to write it off as just like, oh, it's just sex. Well, it's not just sex though. Like it is a vulnerable state of being, and I think it's okay to admit that. I also think it's okay to just be like, yeah, like we had sex, it was a good time, like 10 out of 10, but like I wouldn't do it again. Like we are just whatever you guys are, you know. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's okay too. I think it can go both ways and still be significant, and I think that's fine. Um, and especially like if you love sex and you love your body and you love other people's bodies. Like I know I have a friend who she just loves the human body and like she just talks about it all the time. She's like, it's just so beautiful, and she's like, but you know, she's like, I wouldn't fuck everybody, but she's like, I do love looking at people's like naked bodies and just like appreciating that. I'm like, that's cool. Like a lot of people, but like that's still but she still recognizes that like that's still a vulnerable state of being, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, and I think too that when you are in that moment of the first time, you should be with someone that you trust, and like even if and hey, shit happens, and like you get drunk one night, or like you think everyone else is like fucking, and you're just like, I just want to get it over with or whatever, and you just like the first person that says yes to you, you're like, all right, let's go. I know so many people like there's like, yeah, like it happened, and like kind of sucks that happened that way. That's why I always tell people, like, even if they're like older, I'm just like, listen, like the time will happen, and don't like feel as though you have to do it just because like you feel like everyone else is fucking.
Don't
Because
fall into peer
honestly,
pressure.
exactly. Because honestly, you cannot take your first time. You can't. You can't take that first time back. No matter how many times you wish or plead or pray or whatever, sacrifice your blood to Satan, it's not coming back. You cannot go back in time and change that. So like think really hard on who you want that to be with, and who, and also just like think for yourself on like, is this okay? And for people who have lost their first times and like it was shitty or it just wasn't the right person, but it happened, that's okay too. Like make the first time with the right person special for you. I think that's okay to do as well. I don't think that there should be like a stigma of just like, oh, my first time was amazing and blah 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 blah. It's just like, that's great if it was, and if it wasn't, then that's okay. Make the next first time with the right person
And better
special
things come
for
with
both of you.
experience. So, I
That
mean,
too, yeah. Like first time having sex
I was
is
about to say,
awkward no
probably
matter what.
experience wise, the first time is probably gonna be the shittest by experience. But the more you do it, like the more you like actually have sex and do it with like whoever you want to do it with, basically. I wouldn't even say like the better it gets, but like the more experience you get out of it, good or bad.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Um, I I feel as though I feel like we talk about sex a lot on this channel,
We do.
and there will come a time of like maybe sex talk, and like I will be interviewing doctors and therapists as soon as COVID's over, and that'll be another thing. Um, but I really truly believe that uh, virginity should be like looked at as something that's not as like something that's revered, because I don't think we should look at it in that sort of seriousness that I think a lot, especially like a lot of religious um, beliefs hold it to a very high standard, but I don't think that it should be looked at as something just like, oh, it's just my virginity. Like, I think it should be somewhere in the middle, like most things, and it really should just be like, like you'll get to be with the right person, and it'll be someone that you are able to trust, and someone that you at least like love, whether it be in love or just like love as like a human being. Um, yeah, I think that's like really what I have to say about like losing it anyway, losing your virginity. What do you think?
I feel I'm in the same boat with you. However,
Yeah.
if you
Okay.
if you don't care, if you just want to get it over with,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably not gonna be like the best experience ever, but like you can get it over with and just continue having uh more and more
Experiences.
experiences. Yeah,
Yeah. I think my point is about it is
it's
just like,
I would say
don't just get it over with just because you feel like you should.
yeah. I would feel like it's
Because
not
that's,
something to obsess over, but it is something
yes.
that you would want to hold for someone you trust.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I very much agree with you on that. Very much agree. I think that you should never like, the thing is too, I don't think you should ever force yourself into feeling like you have to have sex. I feel like a lot of, especially I feel like with men, and I don't know what it is with men specifically,
Mm-hmm.
and that I've just noticed is throughout, like, even in high school, it's just like men felt like boys felt like you're a boy at that time. Feel like you just have to lose your virginity, or else you're
I
not a
mean,
man, or you're
it's
not
it's bro culture. That's what that is.
right. But it's toxic.
Of course, it's toxic.
And
Damn near
here's
everything
my
about
thing
high school
too.
is toxic.
You're not wrong, and we're definitely doing a podcast about fucking high school. Like, not fucking in high school, but just fuck high school.
I was about to say that'd be a
And
short
maybe even like
podcast.
fuck middle school. But no, but I really feel as though with um with men in high school or boys in high school specifically, not so much college, but I feel like boys in high school, what they don't realize is that, and what I've even noticed is that a lot of girls, and this is strictly speaking heterosexual relationships, not homosexual, not uh, gender non-conforming relationships or trans. I'm talking specifically cisgendered heterosexual relationships. I feel as though there's usually a couple of girls who they probably lost their virginity very young because they decided in middle school to date somebody. And again, this is just from like my personal experience. I don't know how you have had, but I'm just gonna say mine, and then you can either agree, disagree, or just kind of like move around some things. From what I've noticed, from where I went to high school, and from where I'm from,
Yeah.
a lot of the girls who had boyfriends in middle school, like, I don't want to say serious, but just like long-term boyfriends, lost their virginity when they were like 14, 15, maybe like, oh, God, it's gross to think about.
It's
Like
gross to
12
think
to
about,
15.
but yeah, it happened.
Yeah, but it happened. And a lot of the boys, 14 to about 17, focus in on that specific group of girls because they know they've already lost it. And I feel like once you lose your virginity that young, you're just like, well, fuck it. Like, I've already lost it. Who gives a fuck now? Like, I'll just fuck whoever I want.
Yeah.
And they'll have sex with a lot of different people. And then you'll have these other girls who they may have a high school sweetheart and that's their first, and that's like around 16 to maybe like 18. And then they might maybe have sex with maybe one or two people, or like their high school sweetheart, right? And then you'll have the girls that just like never fucking high school, like me, and they'll be like, I also just have I'm a whole ass different type of person because I wanted to be a nun even in high school. Like I wanted to go like straight to the convent when I was like 16, 17. So I'm a little weird, but I digress. But then you'll have girls that are like in high school like me who are just like, oh shit, am I weird because like I don't want to have sex, but I do, or like I don't have a boyfriend, everyone else is dating and like having sex and whatever, but yet I don't want that myself because I want to be treated special, I want to be in love, like really truly deeply in love with someone and like really truly trust someone. And I'm sorry, but like high school boys suck. And
this is facts.
I
was one of them. I can vouch.
And even like high school girls like suck too. Like I was a high school girl, like we are catty as hell, more so in high school, and dramatic, and like it's not pretty. So like in high school, I just like, did I have crushes and like want to go on dates? Yes, but in all honesty, I didn't really like. They were stupid. Like I did not want to deal with any of them. Like it was just kind of like I had a couple of opportunities. One of them being an orgy. That'll be a different story.
Jesus Christ. Moving on.
But yeah, so I chose to wait personally am I gonna judge people for not waiting? No, that's your personal choice. Like I don't really feel like you're old enough to make a decision when you're like 16 to like be like, yeah, let's lose my virginity or like let's have sex. Personally, like being in the medical field, and like I've even spoken about this before on a different podcast, but like I really feel like 18 to 21 is like really when you should maybe start actually thinking about this stuff, because I've met so many people, even people who have had sex, they have no idea about their bodies, like at all. And like so many girls like believe those boys and girls actually believe the myths of just like, oh, you can't get pregnant on your period. Oh, you can't do this. Or oh, if you do this, you won't get pregnant. Oh, if you do this, you will. And like it's just like you have no idea. And I think like once you have the right information when you're older, and I feel like a lot of people who wait to have experiences when they're in college, I do feel like there is a difference of just not all the time, but some of the time there is a difference, and I've noticed there's more of an understanding of their body. So even though it might be their first time, they're actually a little bit more aware of like what's going on and what goes where and like what certain parts are and like what a clitoris is, like what a clit is and like what an actual like head of a penis can do and like why most guys, even if like they don't have maybe like a larger size, like they still can stimulate and like give pleasure because the friction or just like certain things of that nature or just like certain erotic points in the body and just erogenous zones and because they are more aware of those types of things on the body, they actually have a better experience rather than a really awkward kind of like your body is still very much in development. People think that just because like your body, like you've gone through puberty, your body's done developing. No, you still do so much of your development between the ages of 14 to 20 that like, especially for men and boys are not in their prime until like 27, 32, and women hit their prime about 19 to maybe like 23, 24.
Damn.
That's like girls' prime. So when you think about it, guys, I mean, it's like 10 years later almost, like guys are in their prime. And, for women, so I feel like because of that, I feel like a lot of them are like, well, shit, like I'm only cute or like can get away with certain things now. And it's like, that's a whole nother thing. But when it comes to sex, it's just like sex is sex. And like, you shouldn't do something because of whatever reason. And I feel like those specific groups of girls, what I was getting at is that they get taken advantage of more than the ones who wait. And even like boys who have had a lot of sex or whatever, and they're like, yeah, like I get buck wild like every weekend. It's just like, yeah, but like, do you not understand that you were probably having such unsafe sex and like you could have so many different diseases or just like, and a lot of them are curable, but just like you have so many different diseases and just like you have no idea. And a lot of those boys too um will have different like one of my friends who I used to know, he's kind of a man whore and all the girls knew it. And he also had a reputation for having a large penis, and a lot of girls went after him because of that.
He had big schmeat.
He had
since you didn't want to say it.
I said big penis. I said it.
Nah. You want to be scientifically correct. It's like he got big schmeat.
I did. He had big meat, a schlong. I mean, what else do you want me to say? But because of that, I made out with him. I'm just gonna be honest here.
You did, huh?
I made out with him. I made out with the guy.
You made out with a hoe?
I've made out with a bunch of hoes, okay? Anyway, I never had sex with them though. But I made out with him, and honestly, it wasn't the best makeout session I've had. Like, he was like very low tier when it came to a lot of stuff because he was very basic, and like even though he had a lot of experience, to me it was just like this is what all the girls are talking about. Like, you just have a big dick. Like, that's it. Like, you're kind of like overly aggressive in ways that you shouldn't be. And like, he would try to fill me up, and it did not feel right. Like, it just did not. No, it just was not good. Didn't really enjoy it at all. And yeah, so that's my take on that. How do you, what about like your specific experiences, like with being in high school, and then we'll kind of maybe go into college, like with guys versus girls kind of thing. Like,
What
what are your
I'm
thoughts
about
and
to say?
your
What are you
take?
specifically asking for here?
So like, do you think the same way of like girls, like the girls' age of like if they've had sex kind of young, like it's a specific group of girls and like
Oh
a
yeah, no,
specific group of
it's a group of girls that I know that had sex in middle school.
yeah.
It was a well known
And
thing.
they're labeled a certain way because, and I'm not
Yeah,
saying that is like right at all, because it's not. Like if they, and half the time it's a boy pressuring them. So like
probably.
fuck the boys, honestly.
You know
Like
what?
y'all assholes.
Once I figured out the information, I didn't really want to delve any deeper, so I just mm,
Yeah. No,
you,
absolutely. Like,
you just had sex in
yeah.
middle school. I mean, it's kind of weird, but like, all right.
Like you're a fucking child. And like some of the girls would be so proud of that. And now like I know so many of those girls that were so proud of it back then, they're just like they're either still like that and they're just like, I've had sex since I was 12. Ha ha ha. And I fucked this really hot guy. And it's just like, yeah, but he's either not so hot now or he wants literally nothing to do with you and wishes like he never met you and thinks that you're fucking crazy.
Most of the ones I
Because
know have kids,
yeah, that too.
and they're younger than me.
Very, very young. That and like, um, yeah, and like, they don't end up having great lives because of that. And then two, it actually, there's been studies that having sex really early can actually mentally scar you, even if it is consensual sex. Like having sex really early can mentally scar you.
Hmm.
So, yeah, but I'll talk about that more. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that whole dynamic and like how you feel?
Um, I would say, I mean, part of me is like, I didn't ask people these kind of questions, so I don't know if they waited or not. I'll be honest. I just kind of assumed everybody fucked.
Yeah.
But
I think girls notice. I don't know. I am a really observant person, and because I was so adamant about not fucking,
I didn't.
people would tease me about it
I didn't
and
want to
like
be
would make
that
fun of me
observant.
for it.
So
No, I mean that's fair. That's absolutely fair. For me, it was like a protective mechanism because of just some stuff that happened in my past, and I'm gonna be honest, like I was molested when I was a child, and like I just was terrified of men for a long time. So like I would literally count men in the room. So I think because of that, I was a little jaded, and it was like over a period of years as well that I was like molested, and so because of that, I really was like fair protecting myself. So like if I knew that like this guy had a girlfriend and like if I overheard or even like thought they fucked, I just stayed away from him because I was so, even if like he didn't, and it wasn't even like, oh, I think he's interested. No, 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 it wasn't like that. I was just like, he's fucking. I don't want to be in that. Like, I don't even want to be friends with the girl, and not just like not in a judgmental way, but just like it was just such a protective mechanism for me. So like I was very like standoffish and kind of honestly bitchy to people, and probably came off very judgmental because I was just so terrified. Like it was a part of just like I was so scared. And because of that, and I still kind of have those moments even now, like if I'm like really scared of something, I honestly just get really panicky and like I'm either hyperventilating or I'm bitchy. And when it came to sex, I was bitchy about it and like very judgmental, or at least seemed that way, but in reality I just was scared. And I
Hmm.
feel like there were girls like that too in high school. Like and even like guys. Like it doesn't even have to be just girls, but like there's been like instances of like guys that I knew that were young and like stepfather, grandfather, someone from the neighborhood, did something to them and they just, you know, and sex was just very like, I don't really want to be around, you know? So it was very, it was a protective mechanism to like notice those things, I think for me back in high school and a little bit even like when I got to college. But you did not have any of those experiences
Yeah,
of
I
like
didn't.
being, yeah.
Nah, I'm close.
um so I feel like and I think too you're such a straight male. It's so funny, but like
I still don't know how to take that.
I
Like,
don't mean in a bad way, but you're very like you're like cisgendered male, very straight. Like it's just that's your sexuality, and like that you're like that's who I am. Don't give a fuck what anyone
that's
else
how I
is.
live
Like
my
that's just
life.
who I
Yes,
am.
that is
Right.
correct.
That's just how you live your life. So I feel like you have a very like pro way of looking at it, or you can like understand maybe, or just like see that type of sort of thing about virginity, especially like when you were in high school.
Yeah. Also,
So
I didn't really.
turning it
Sometimes I
around,
didn't really have to be observant. See, people just told me shit. People just told me when they fucked somebody. I was like, bro, I need to know that. But like, okay, all right,
debunk, do guys talk about sex in high school? Like, do they actually have locker room talk? Yes or no?
yes and no, depending on the guy.
See? And that's what I feel like a lot of people don't know that. I already knew the answer, but like, because there's different personalities. There was this one guy that I knew fucked a lot of girls. Never told the fucking soul. Like, wouldn't talk about it. The only reason that us girls knew is because we fucking talk, and girls are way like girls always complain about guys being really bad about like, oh, I fucked. No, 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 no. We're worse. We are so much worse. Like I'm calling us out. Like we are so terrible. Like we go in detail, like
Go
nasty,
off.
dirty TMI detail.
Yeah,
I've
you do.
literally had so many conversations about like how I give a blowjob to so many women. It is unreal. I've had to teach people how to give blowjobs. Physically teach people. And I have been physically taught how to give a blowjob from another woman and even a gay guy. Like, we are so bad. Like, we are terrible at talking about, like, so in detail. Poor Zen here, I almost said your government name. Poor Zen here has heard so many things about me that he's just like, why
It's a
did
daily
I need
basis.
to? It is a daily basis, absolutely. I'll go in detail about so many things. He's just like, why do I need to know this,
And I'm
Sammy?
at the
Like,
point where I'm just
why?
like, Sammy, shut the fuck up.
That, or like, I'll say something, and you're just like, this is not even the worst he's even said today. Like, this isn't even the worst things he said, and I'm not even gonna like say anything, because if I do say something more than what I'm saying right now, it's just gonna get worse, and I don't need that again. I don't need that again. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's I feel like virginity is such like almost like a look down thing on in high school, but I feel like once you hit college age, and it's really just like a year or two once you hit college age, and it's just like, oh, it's like a whatever thing. Like, oh, you're a virgin? Okay, whatever. Like, if they just like roll their eyes and just like, okay, cool. Like, who gives a fuck? If you are, you aren't. You know? At least for me, that's how it felt. What about you?
At the college point, nobody fucking cares.
Yeah. That's how I feel too.
It's basically just high school.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna say this, and I mean everything I say. Uh, if you got peer pressured by a middle school hoe, on how you haven't fucked somebody yet. They weren't living their best life in the first place.
That's fact. That's true facts right there.
So
that's true facts.
Listen, live your life. Just just don't fuck in middle school.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm gonna be like, live your life.
Don't honestly
do it when you're.
Don't fuck in high school, bro. Because they ain't shit. They ain't shit.
Do it when you're ready and when you've researched yourself and you are prepared to do so.
Honestly, y'all,
but
just fucking
if
masturbate.
you do your research in middle school, I don't care.
But here's the thing too. You know how like a lot of people will be like, well, I masturbated. That's like losing. No, bitch. That's not losing your virginity. That's exploring your body, and that is not something that you should be ashamed of.
You stupid motherfucker. That's not even like.
I've had so many. It almost is just sad to me how a lot of, and I feel like religion definitely plays a part in this, of how they make people feel so bad about even just like masturbating, and it's just like, why are you making them feel sad about like exploring their bodies? That's their body. They should be proud and happy that this is like, I am of the Christian faith. Okay? Like I am. And it's just like,
but hold on, before you get into that, how do you lose something to yourself? I'm just gonna ask that question.
That is also, yes, absolutely.
I rest my nuts.
But what I was gonna say is that like, God gave us this body, okay? Why would he be mad at us for exploring it and enjoying it for ourselves? I don't think he would. I think it's stupid that people think that. There is nothing in the Bible that says you cannot masturbate or that you'll go to hell for masturbating. Like, excuse me? No. But yet, in other parts of the world where people are extremely, very polarizing in like just extreme with their religion, they'll have multiple wives. And it's just like, well, it's between one man and one woman. That is in the Bible. And between one person and one person. Now, this is only because of those zealous people. I'm not even like, if you want to fuck three people, I don't care. Live your best life. DP all the way, baby. Like, don't care.
See, you know what? We're talking about how you add shit you don't need to add. Right there. Right the fuck there.
No, but like, they'll have like 3 wives, okay? And yet they preach, they're just like, needs to be with one man and one. Bitch, you cannot do that. You're literally like you're contradicting yourself in the most of ways, and I cannot. And a lot of those women who like, there's something that I saw, and it was a woman and her husband, and you could tell he was just very predatorial and just, like, you're not religious. Like, it's literally, you're preying on women, and like, you think that you're uplifting women, and you're not. Like, you are absolutely not. And like, I feel like some of those women are probably gay. I also feel like some of those men are probably gay. I feel as though a lot of times those types of men, like a lot of, like, it'll be like, you need to please your man, like, aka your husband, and like, even if you don't want to, you just have to lie there, and it's just missionary all the time. You can't experiment, you can't actually get pleasure, or if you do get pleasure from sex, you're in the wrong. Like, it's so sad to see that, and it's so sad to like know that those things happen and are out there, and it's just horrible. But yet that's what happens a lot more than what we realize, even in this country. And it's just about keeping the woman so pure. And I don't think that we should all be looked at as equal. People are like, oh, well, if a woman whores herself out, she's a whore. But if a man does it, it's whatever. Like, nah, they both fucked like 27 people. Like, that's still 27 people. They both
hoes. Like, let's not.
They both hoes.
Let's not.
But we stand hoes. We stand hoes here though.
I don't know
But
about
like,
that one. I don't know about that one.
okay, we stand loyal
27
hoes.
people? I was about to say.
Listen, we stand loyal hoes. But here's the thing though: if they fuck 7 people, who are you to judge on that, sir? I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
They could have been in a 27 people orgy. You don't know.
That's a very, very, like, hard to believe hypothetical.
I've known someone that's been in like a 15 people orgy.
That doesn't make it any less hard to believe.
Happened at a house party. I can go into details.
You don't. You're not. But okay.
You're like, I'm vetoing this right now.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Like, and I've known girls that have like been run a train on in their dorm room, and it's just how it is. And there's also sororities and fraternities that like
all I'm saying is
literally
I'm not gonna
cannot be a virgin.
all I'm
and
saying
like
is
they'll play Ring
I'm
Around
not...
the Rosie, but with dicks, and like it does happen.
Sammy, details. You fucking.
I'm
Jesus.
just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm also just saying I'm not going to judge you for how many people you have sex with. I'm just saying 27 is a really big number. I mean, if it's like over 10 years, who cares? I don't care. I don't fucking care.
Oh, you mean just like within like a week or something?
Yeah, like within 1 year.
No. I just mean like over like a period of time is what I'm saying.
Ah.
Like a longer period of time. Yeah. But like at the same time, it's just like, who cares? Like it's like whether it's a woman or a man though, like it shouldn't be looked at. But I feel, and I think it was Kurt that said, I can't remember if it was you or Kurt that said this in like the theme fetishes, the first one that we did. It's like the one key that unlocks many lock, or that unlocks, you know, whatever. Like it's more kind of just like a write-off, and but like, you know, the lock that accepts many keys type of thing. And it's just like, I understand that, and I feel like for women or for people who are bottoming in the relationship, I don't even like saying it like that, but just like who are taking it, it's more of a vulnerable position because something is entering your body, and that's abrasive. Like that's kind of like something is entering your body, whereas like someone who's giving it, I feel like it's very different type of feeling. I mean, other than the fact of what, you know, inserting a coin into the slot to rev the engine.
Jesus Christ. The analogies are worse somehow.
The analogies are worse?
The analogies are worse somehow.
You want me to say a dick into a vagina or asshole?
That doesn't mean put the shit in there.
Listen, I'm just being honest here.
You could be honest,
I do think that
with less detail.
Okay, but let me explain, damn it. Anyway.
You were explaining.
No,
Go on.
But no, I think that like there is some merit to that, and I don't even want to say it like that, but there is a more vulnerability to that, I guess is what I'm saying, than someone who is like inserting something into the slot. But even so, it's still, you both fuck 27 people. Like, y'all still hoes. It's fine, but like, y'all still hoes. Like, who cares? That's all I mean. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I go over into detail just to make him feel uncomfortable. In all honesty, it's just really fun to see him uncomfortable. But yeah, I think that there, like I said, there is some merit, but only in the sense of like it being a vulnerability of opening yourself up to someone. And I don't even just mean women. I just mean like there's a lot of gay men or, you know, gay women who just take it. And it's just like, that's pretty like vulnerable to be the one that does take it. And, like, while you choose to do that, and like that's your prerogative and that's how you feel the most pleasure, it's still a very vulnerable thing to, spread your legs open, like to be, but it's like that's what you're doing. Like you're opening yourself up. And I think that it should be, especially the first time, should be with someone that you trust. And that's basically I think what we're both kind of getting at. Do you concur?
Yes.
I love how you're just like, I'm just waiting for something else to pop up.
Yeah, I was.
But no, I feel like in college though, virginity is just like, it's not even like a thing. Unless you're joining a sorority or a fraternity, but that's a whole ass other thing. But a lot of people like do, like a lot of my friends are just like, oh, okay, cool, like who gives a crap? Like, I don't, okay. And a lot of people are just like, that's so sweet that you like waited, and like I'm just like, I guess. Like,
Was it
half it was because I was
sweet or was it
terrified, but
smart? I wonder, was it sweet
What?
or was it just smart?
I mean, I think for me, it was, again, I was afraid of people and just sex in general in high school, but also like, I also made like the conscious decision to be like, yeah, like I'm gonna be a virgin until I'm married, or until I at least find the person I am going to marry, and like I'm mentally, I can only really have sex with like maybe one or two people in my life. My body is ready for more than that, but like mentally and physically, or mentally and emotionally, like I can only truly be with maybe one or two people in my life, like, and actually physically doing the act of being that vulnerable in front of somebody. What about you? Like, how do you feel, like personally, now that you have lost your virginity? Like, do you feel a little differently now? Are you glad that you waited? How do you kind of?
It's opened up a completely different space in the old cranium of mine.
Ah.
I was very oblivious to romantic advances. I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very oblivious person. I was very in tune with myself, not really my surroundings, although I did observe somewhat diligently. Just not that facet of life.
Mm-hmm. Other things, yes. Sexual things, no.
Yes. Like, basically, literally everything else, yes.
Yeah. Right.
Well, yeah.
Do you think now that like you're more aware of like sexual advances or like flirtations now,
Yeah.
or?
No, 100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How so?
Like, I see it. I can feel it. Saying I can feel it feels weird, but I can feel
but
it.
like, I feel like people who know what, I feel like people who have had sex like know what, like it's a vibe. It's a vibe that you put out when you want to fuck somebody, and like people who have fucked somebody, they know the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like a sexual type of like tension. No, absolutely.
Like, I got that vibe from someone who served me food.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, recently.
I mean, I'm
like,
not surprised. My best friend's at 10 out of 10. I'm just saying.
So you can lie
like,
to them more. I don't care.
Bitch. Who's lying?
You.
I'm not. No. Best friends, like an 8.59 most days, but when he dresses up, y'all, 10 out of 10. I'm just saying.
She's lying to y'all like so bad right now.
I'm fucking not
That's
lying,
crazy,
though.
bro.
Have y'all seen this man? He's great.
No, because we don't have our cameras on.
I know what you look like.
They haven't. They don't know.
I'm rolling my eyes right now. Anyway, continue.
I'm not wrong.
So someone was serving you food.
Yeah, someone was serving me food and gave me the fucking eyes like they wanted to fuck me.
How did you feel about that after, like, you're now noticing, like, the vibe more?
I just kind of sat there like, what in the fuck? Huh? Huh? What a
Yeah, that's exactly what you would do.
I didn't even dress up. Like I just put on some shorts and a t-shirt, walked the fuck up out my house, got some food because I was hungry. And what? Like, what about? I don't understand. I just wanted food. That I just went out for food. I don't go out for that. You could have left that at the door.
Do you feel as though it kind of changes your perspective on certain people though now?
Well, what do you mean?
Like of how people who have had sex like view kind of different things, like because you now feel the vibe.
No,
Oh, okay.
not really.
Okay.
Because I mean, the people that I vibe with would just tell me in a way that I can understand. And there are sometimes where I
Right.
would just observe, and it's just like, oh, I understand where you're coming from, without you having to like actually explicitly tell me how this
I want to fuck
makes you
you.
feel. Yeah.
Right. You're right. Right.
Ooh, I was just actually talking about this today with someone, someone, someone in college, someone while I was in college, told me
Okay.
that they would rather have sex with me than kiss another dude. And until this day, I didn't know whether it was a compliment or an insult.
Honestly,
I just sat on it for 2 years. I was like, hmm.
a female or a okay? Is it a female or a male?
It was a female.
That's a compliment.
I mean, I know that now.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a compliment. Because guys kiss so fucking. I've already gone through that whole rant, but no, guys kiss. Y'all can't fucking kiss. Y'all need to get lessons. I'll teach y'all how to kiss. Not like on me, but like I'll hold a seminar or something because y'all need help. Anyway, also y'all need to learn how to eat down there because y'all ain't doing that shit right either. Anyway, um, no, yeah, no, I feel like that's definitely a compliment. But again, 10 out of 10
Lie to them
best friends.
more.
I'm not lying.
You are.
But okay.
But okay.
Well, I don't really lie, so
I got a whole emote for how you're doing right the fuck now. For what the fuck you're doing. I'm putting
I
it
swear to goodness.
in one of the chats we're in. Give me 1 second.
Oh my gosh, you're actually doing the emote. Okay, anyway, for the people who cannot see anything that you're doing, right? For anyone who can, because they can't see what he's doing right now, or what anything of what's anything.
There you go. I put that in quotes. Whoops. Fuck.
So anyway, what are your closing thoughts on sex, virginity, people in high schools, asshole-ish thoughts?
People in high school are assholes. Have sex when you're ready, but definitely not in middle school. Research the fuck out your body.
AKA masturbation.
Or literally just Google.
Yeah, honestly though, like y'all need to learn what a clit is. Men and women do. Like it's the folds and like the labia and all the parts, y'all. Like if you are interested in women, whether you are a woman yourself, a non-binary person who has female genitalia or not, or someone who is interested in the vagina, please, for the love of all that is holy, learn the fucking parts. That's all I'm asking. And people who are interested in penises, I don't need to say this. Learn the fucking parts. It is one Google search away. But I digress. Hey, Zen.
Hello, Sammy.
What's the song of the day, sir?
The album of the day
Ah, yes, right. Album.
is an album that literally just came out today. It's Never Knows Best by 6 Seconds.
Okay.
It's a good album. 6 songs, 22 minutes, 13 seconds.
Perfect. Love it. And I think that kind of wraps up this podcast. We will see y'all next Friday for sure. This week kind of got away from us. Retail life. Finals week.
Finals week.
And finals week.
Really long fucking streams.
That's your fault, not mine. Yeah. So, but we will be back next Friday at our usual time. And I think that's everything. But yeah, guys, have a good rest of your week. A happy Hanukkah. Because that starts today, right? Today, yeah.
Hey,
Today's
Google,
the first day of Hanukkah.
when does Hanukkah begin? Oh, Thursday, December 10th, 2020. We're 2 days late. Well, 3 days late. Two, 3. Fuck it. We're late.
So, happy third day of Hanukkah.
Yeah.
I thought it was Friday when we were recording this.
Happy Hanukkah day.
Happy Hanukkah, guys, who are Jewish. And Merry Christmas for, we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah. But have a good week, guys. We love y'all. And bye.
Bye.